Okay. Hey, new ambassadors. It's Phyllis Anderson. If you haven't met me yet or don't know me yet, I'm an Emerald on this team. And we are here just to welcome you to our team. And we want to share a few things with you. We have a great testimony coming up here from Egan. And then also Barbie's going to be sharing some product information. And then I'm going to wrap up the evening by just talking about like how we can tell our friends and family just organically about these products and how we can share easily and invite people to join us on our journey. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Egan de los Cobos.
Well, thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Barbie. Like they said, my name is Egan. I'm 37 years old. I live out here in California. I have a wife, 2 kids, 8-year-old and a 2-month-old little baby girl. And actually my full-time job, I'm actually a firefighter paramedic. So just the background with me, I was kind of always the person who did everything right. So I thought. I exercised, I ate clean, I didn't have much trouble sleeping, I didn't really drink alcohol, and I never really had any kind of issues at all. The only thing I kind of had was some seasonal allergies when the pollen would kind of kick up, and that was about it. So, but all that kind of changed about 5 years ago. I suffered an accident with my son. I was sitting in front of a coffee shop on like a patio, and a car drove right through us going about 30 miles plus an hour. And so crashed right through us. I went one way, my son went the other. And so as I came to, knowing what just happened, I was frantically trying to find my son. And so there's debris everywhere, tables, chairs, everything, and I couldn't find him. And so as I'm rummaging through that, I find him lying face down underneath the car, not moving. And so as any parent would know, that's probably the worst thing that could possibly happen. When I'm reaching down, I'm thinking I'm picking up my son who's dead. And so as I'm picking him up, he starts crying right away. Best cry you could ever ask for as a parent. And obviously I held on to him the whole way and never let him go all the way to the hospital. So long story short, we had that accident. We were ultimately discharged later that day with just minor bumps and bruises. But the kind of the mental emotional toll was kind of yet to be seen. Ultimately, that led to me being diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, and that was kind of my autoimmune trigger, which is super common for autoimmune conditions. A lot of times it can happen after a stressful event. So that was kind of my trigger. About a week after the accident, I started having foot pain, and my middle toe was about the size of my big toe. I went and got x-rays. They said it wasn't broken. And looking back, that was one of the first signs of psoriatic arthritis of my trigger. So the first year after the accident was foot pain. I had plantar fasciitis for an entire year. Anyone who has that knows it's like walking on steak knives is the best way to describe it. You're in constant pain. Every move that you make, you can't really work out. You can't walk. And with my job, that's pretty hard to do. So I had that, and then that led to my hip pain and as well as back pain. I went to a chiropractor thinking I had back problems, and I found out it was just my hip and just massive inflammation. I went to orthopedist, several orthopedists. I went to UCLA 3 times. I almost had hip surgery. But I ultimately denied that because I didn't feel like that was the problem. I didn't feel like it was a mechanical thing. I just felt like something was wrong, and everything was triggered after this accident. So that kind of began all that. And then about a year after that, so the 3rd year into all this fun stuff, I started getting skin issues. And so I actually initially thought it was jock itch, not fun, but hey, it's out there. And so I started using medication for that, antifungals, and that didn't work or do anything. And then it started leading into my head, and I started having that itchy, red, flaky skin. I thought it was dandruff. I used dandruff shampoo. I used all kinds of other things thinking that was going to cure it. And none of that worked. So I dealt with that for another 6 months. So now I'm 2.5, 3 years into all this. And I go to a specialist dermatologist, and they said it's seborrheic dermatitis. And so I kept saying, hey, I have a family member who's got psoriatic arthritis and psoriasis. Does this have anything to do with it since it could be genetic? They said no. So specialist after specialist, and I've had steroid creams, and they work great, but your skin would just come right back about 3 weeks later. So nothing seemed to work. And then ultimately it led to me a naturopath doctor, which was good. He had ultimately said I had this psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis, but it was also $1,000 for 1 hour with him. And he gave me a treatment path, and it ultimately didn't work, but I was out $1,000 and not much answers. So I turned to Google and started watching videos. I read books. I started on the path of gut health. I discovered it kind of on my own research, read books and whatnot. And then I found out you got to take probiotics. So I started taking probiotics, refrigerated ones, you name it. I took them all. Supplementation. I tried everything that you could think of, supplements of diets. There's all these other diets that are out there. I tried different diets, even though my diet's pretty clean. Nothing seemed to work. And then to fast forward a little bit longer, I saw Phyllis Little Face on Facebook posting about some pink drink. And I had no idea what it was, but I work with her husband. And so I thought it was a weight loss thing initially. And then she explained it was about gut health. And I thought, well, that kind of echoed what I was kind of already on. And so, you know what, I said, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to try it because I've tried everything else and nothing seems to work. So here I am 10 months in. And to say that they've helped me is by the biggest understatement I could actually make. So it's kind of giving me my life and my health back. And and that's absolutely, priceless. So I'm 10 months in, I don't have joint pain. I run every day. I can exercise every day. I got clean, sustained energy. I don't have that morning coffee that I used to need or the afternoon one just to kind of get me through the day. I didn't think I had a sleeping issue until I started taking it. So I actually started back up. So I took the Triplex and X Factor Plus, and then I've added Vital Biome along the way. And so that sleeping thing, I always thought it was normal to have your mind race for about 2 hours before you fell asleep. And just thinking about the next day, and now that's gone. So I didn't even know I had those issues until actually they were gone. So those are kind of things that I've seen. And the biggest thing for me was that my skin is permanently healing. My skin is so minimal now that I don't even notice it. And if anybody has any of those kind of skin issues or psoriasis, that's probably the biggest thing, because you can't move or function without noticing that. And to have that not nagging at you all the time is just huge. And it's the only thing that's permanently kind of reversed all my skin things too. So that's kind of one of the biggest takeaways I've had from all this. So along my journey, so not only have I found, health, but I found like a community of like-minded people like Barbie and Phyllis here, just like nurses, and I'm in paramedicine, that are just out here trying to help others find the healthiest versions of themselves. And I'm kind of proof of that. And so, as what I've noticed too is starting to share my own experiences. That's kind of opened the doors for others who have suffered in silence, just like myself. I was one of those ones not advertising like my whole health issues on Facebook, but I was thankful that somebody else was saying that, hey, maybe there's something out here that can help you as well. And because when you're down and not feeling that good, you will almost try almost anything. Because I did try everything, and I tried tons of other things, and nothing ultimately worked until I found what I found here. So it's life-changing, and that's truly an understatement. So despite all the years of pain and suffering and other fun stuff I went to, I'm thankful that it all happened, because it ultimately found my ultimate health, as well as everything along the way in the community of people that I've met here as well too. And also, ironically enough, as a result of my accident, that's ultimately how I found my wife. So ironically enough, she was the reporter. So a coworker of mine after the accident told me to do an interview. And normally I would never say yes to that. I never did an interview before. I've never done one since. But something kind of felt compelled, like I wanted to help others describe my accident, because maybe it ultimately will help somebody in some way, shape, or form. And so my wife she was not my wife, but she interviewed me. I met her, and we've been married now for 2 years, and now we have a beautiful girl. And so I'm so thankful that, things happen in our life for a reason, and I truly believe that, and I feel like I'm living proof of that. So thank you.
Awesome, Egan. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And this is just one testimony we have here on our team, but I just think it's powerful, because like when your life is rocked, when your world is rocked, you just have to share it. And so, Egan's just been organically talking to friends, talking to family, talking to coworkers, because why would we keep something like this quiet, right? And so that's what it is. Like for me personally too, I'm a nurse. For those that'll be watching this, nurse of almost 20 years. And we watch a lot of people. Barbie's a nurse also in the ER. Both of us are ER nurses. And we just see a lot of people that could benefit from these products. And while we can't share it in our emergency room setting, we can sure talk to it. We can talk about it and we can put it on social media, and we can just try to one-on-one get the word out with our friends. And so that's all our passion here. And so I'm going to turn it over to Barbie, who's going to talk about like just the cornerstone products. And then if you guys have any, like anybody that's on here has any questions about a specific product that Barbie doesn't mention, just go ahead and put it in the chat, and she'll try to address that quickly because we value your time. And anyway, all right, take it away, Barbie.
All right. Well, thank you, Phyllis. And thank you, Egan. It's such a powerful story. And honestly, one of the things I love most about your story is that you didn't keep it to yourself, because so many people that suffer from post-traumatic stress syndromes, they want to just hold it in, and instead you shared it and you're helping other people. And I think that's really honestly what this is all about, is just reaching out and helping other people. So, you know, my name's Barbie. I'm Phyllis's sister-in-law, and I started these products about, well, Phyllis and I pretty much started together. It was June of last year, and I too, like Egan and so many others, like I ate clean, I exercise regularly, I taught fitness classes. I love health and wellness, and this really is my passion. I love this. And working in the ER of 18 years, it does get discouraging after a time. Like that's just what happens, sadly. Like so many people need these products, and so much of them don't get it just because they want quick fixes. They want a prescription to cure them, which it doesn't. It just stacks on top of each other. And so when I started these products for myself, which was for anxiety and just improved health and health as I get older. I'm 40 years old. I'm 42 years old, actually. And as we get older, so much is like, oh, that's just part of getting older. And you know what? I mean, Phyllis can testify to this, right? Like she was starting menopause and like, oh, weight gain and hot flashes. Like that's just all part of getting older. And like we get to call BS to that because it's not true. And I love that. And I love that we can just reach out and help others. And that's truly what this is about. So I'm going to I want to welcome you all, new ambassadors. You guys made an amazing decision. I hope that you write down why you did this, why you made this decision. And I want you to post it and look at it, because not everybody will have results immediately. Like don't expect immediate results. And if you signed up thinking you're going to get immediate results, you need to rethink this, because you need to commit to 90 days. Commitment in being consistent is going to be your key to success. So it takes our cells every 90 days that our cells regenerate. So if you think that by doing these products, you're going to have immediate results, you're going to be disappointed. And I just want to address that right off the bat, because it takes consistency and diligence. And depending on how bad your gut is, it can take a little bit longer. So that's one of the things I love about having a buddy or somebody to start with, is because you guys can have different results at different times. I did feel more energy right away, and I was able to kick my Starbucks habit pretty on. My daughter had amazing results with her allergies pretty right away. Like within 3 weeks or so, she was off of her allergy meds. But everybody is different on their journey, so I just want to encourage you to stick with it. And I'm going to just real quickly touch upon like the core, what I think are the core of our supplement, which is the triplex. So the triplex consists of 3 things. It's the Slim, which is our pink drink, right? So it decreases systemic inflammation, and that's because it's going to help heal your gut. It gives you a slow release of glucose into your bloodstream. So it's going to balance your blood glucose. So you're going to have sustained energy, and you're going to feel balanced and energized through the day without any of the jitteriness or the ups and downs of the hangry feeling or I gotta eat right away or any of that. So it's going to help immediately with that. And then also it has there's 2 types of Slim. So the microbiome Slim has a prebiotic in it, which is basically like putting fertilizer on your garden. So you're going to just put that, when you drink the Slim with that prebiotic in it, it increases your good bacteria by 300 times. And you guys, basically, real quick, I'm just going to say, this is all about healing our gut. So we eat foods, additives, preservatives, alcohol, stress, toxins, environmental toxins, drugs, of course, antibiotics, but steroids, NSAIDs, any of those, they all kill our good bacteria. We are 90% microorganisms. We're only 10% human DNA. So when you think like, oh, it's hereditary for me to have high blood pressure, really think about how much of it is nature versus nurture. Did you grow up eating the same things and the foods that your parents ate who have high blood pressure? Yeah, you're going to have high blood pressure. You're going to have high cholesterol. So just really think about what you consume and what you put in your body more than just blowing it, oh, this is just what I'm predisposed to, because you can change it. You really can. So as we kill off that bacteria, fungus in our body, right? It's just enough fungus to decompose our bodies when we die. So it comes in, it eats up that dead bacteria that we just killed from our additives, preservatives, stress, alcohol, environmental toxins, right? All of that. And it creates this lining in your intestinal tract. That's where we absorb all of our nutrients, is in our intestinal tract. So even if you're eating healthy, like I was, like Egan was, like Phyllis was, if you're eating healthy, you still may not be absorbing the nutrients because you have this film in your intestinal lining. And that's where our serotonin is produced. A lot of our immune system is produced. So you're going to have mood issues. You're going to be predisposed to more disease or illnesses or colds and flu-like symptoms because your immune system is crippled. It eats tiny holes, creates leaky gut. We eat, food particles get into our bloodstream, kicks in our autoimmune system, and this whole cascade happens. So honestly, simply by healing our gut, repopulating the good bacteria, we are going to have an amazing results. So Slim, very good for you. It has chromium in there, which is an amazing mineral. It's equivalent to 9 cups of broccoli. It helps decrease your blood pressure, decrease cholesterol. It's got alpha-lipoic acid in there, which helps us with energy. It's a detoxifier. It's got chlorogenic acid that gives you that slow release of glucose. All of the ingredients, all natural, gluten-free, awesomeness. Okay, so we can give you every ingredient in there if you want to know it. I'm not going to take the time to go over all of them right now, but just know it's all natural, gluten-free, non-GMO. I have somebody coming over to my house, so I have pardon me for the interruption. One of my ambassadors, Mike Brunson. But and then Probio 5 is your second part of the triplex. Probio 5 is your good bacteria in introducing and repopulating that good bacteria. But the beautiful thing about our Probio 5, 2 things I love. One, it has the digestive enzyme blend to kill the yeast. So you're killing that candida that I was just talking about that takes over when we kill off our good bacteria, right? So you're able to kill that off. And then also it's flash frozen and it has a delayed release. So you're not going to have none of it's going to be killed by the heat and moisture of your mouth. None of it's going to be killed by the acid of your stomach. It doesn't release until it gets into our intestinal lining. So many of the people that think like, oh, I need 50,000 CFUs and they have to be refrigerated. That is not true. That is false. And you really need to look into that. And so our Probio 5 is amazing in the aspect that it's an amazing probiotic, but also kills the candida. And then the third part of our triplex is the BioCleanse. And I love BioCleanse because it helps eliminate, like a lot of people suffer with constipation, some with IBS that have constipation diarrhea and they go back and forth. But we need to be cleansing out our colons every day, 2 to 3 times a day. Truly, every time you eat, your body should absorb the nutrients and then it should excrete the waste, right? So if you're not doing that, if you're not pooping 2 to 3 times a day, if you're eating, then you're holding on to that. You can store up to 20 to 30 pounds of poop in your intestines. That's a lot. So think about weight loss there. Yeah, it does great things. So, but it's not just about, and don't let that scare you to think like, oh, it's going to have me running to the bathroom. Magnesium, amazing. We need magnesium. That's something that we need to take as a supplement. Our bodies do not produce it. We use it in the emergency room for a variety of things, anywhere from cardiac arrest to headaches to labor contractions. Like so many things magnesium is used for. And it's a smooth muscle relaxer. And then sodium bicarb decrease our pH to a more alkaline balance instead of acid. So people that suffer from acid reflux or any kind of thing like that, then they're going to feel great with it. But also one of the things I love and I think about preventative is that pathogens such as cancer cells, they thrive and multiply in an acid environment. So you guys, when we are taking our BioCleanse and we are creating a more alkaline environment in our blood, we are preventing those harmful pathogens like cancer or any of the other ones from surviving in our bloodstream. But when we're in an acid environment, they love and multiply in there. So we're really being preventative, and it's just sad because I personally know 5 people right now that are battling cancer, like 5 in my circle. And I know that cancer is just becoming more and more. So if we can prevent it and we can be a little bit more proactive, I think that's awesome. I'm not saying that, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that BioCleanse is going to prevent cancer, but we're going to stop the growth and we're going to help it. We're going to help protect ourselves is what I'm saying. So that's the 3, and then it has vitamin C in there. So the vitamin C and the magnesium mixed together actually creates it oxygenates our cells. So we'll have more energy. We'll feel that energy. We'll, like for those of you that love to exercise like I do, you'll feel that your muscle recovery is much quicker. You won't have the soreness. I used to totally be a believer, no pain, no gain. And that is not true. That's not true. I don't even have the pain hardly anymore. I used to be like, oh, if I can hardly walk, then that means I worked out really well. No, it just means I needed more mag and vitamin C. But so that's the triplex. And then the other gold one is the X Factor Plus. And so you guys, the X Factor Plus, I really love that. It's a fully methylated multivitamin. Again, methylation just means that's the way our body can use it. If it is, like for instance, folic acid is synthetic, right? And our body has to methylate it into folate for our body to use. Well, our vitamin is fully methylated. You don't have to worry about if you have that mutated gene, which 60% of us have, MTHFR, sounds like a bad word, MTHFR. If you have that mutated gene, you can't convert your folic acid or your B vitamins into the methylated form. So the fact that it's a fully methylated multivitamin, it has aloe, which helps with increased absorption. It's got polyphenols, which help protect our gut. So amazing. And for people for thyroid, menopausal people, this is a must. Phyllis can attest to this one too, I know, because it stopped her hot flashes right away. And I believe it's the selenium in there that helps with the hot flashes. And so you're just going to, and it just, like the polyphenols, it's just more bioavailable. Our bodies with the aloe, it can just absorb it in. And we're really, like my hair, I used to buy hair and nails from Costco. Like my nails, I don't know if you can see that, but oh my goodness, my nails never used to be long and solid. My hair is growing. Like that stuff from Costco never worked. I have it now with my X Factor Plus. So those are the 3. I mean, I can go on. I love Vital Biome as well, but I just really wanted to touch on those ones. And I'm just going to look real quick at the chat to see if you guys are on, any of you new ambassadors are on anything There just is enough choices with it. So if any of you guys are on anything different besides those three, the Triplex and the X Factor Plus, then I just lost my screen. Then please put it in comment here, because I'm happy to touch on it and tell you more about it. Because some of you that are, each one of this is all like really individualized and what our health goals are. And what I take is not what you're going to take and what somebody else takes. So that's why the beautiful thing about this is it's not just going into GNC or your health food store and buying some supplements off the counter or off the shelves and then good luck to you. We are here for you. We want you to succeed. We want to hear your testimonies and celebrate with you. And like, this is going to be very much a group effort where you have to communicate with us and tell us what you are experiencing. If you're experiencing something negative, please reach out to us. Don't just stop. If you're experiencing something positive, please reach out to us. Let us celebrate with you. And it's just, we're here for you. We're here to coach you along. So if there's any other, besides the four I just talked about that you're taking, I would love to tell you more about it. In the meantime, while you guys all think about that and decide you want to talk to me about it, then I'll let Phyllis talk a little bit for now.
Okay, Barbie, thanks a lot. You know what? Egan just put a little thing in there, so I'll have you just think about that one, and I'll just keep going because I want to make sure we get a little bit of sharing in here. So maybe, Barbie, you could just type it in to the comments there for Gina. Okay, and welcome, Gina. Yeah, so nice to have you. I don't see your cute face, but glad you're here. Okay, so Barbie is who shared the product with me. And the reason why she shared it with me is because I called her after my experience with my gynecologist last year and just feeling hopeless. I went to Barbie because I said, gosh, I need a new exercise program because I can't lose this weight. And then Barbie said, you know what, Phyllis, you're doing everything right. You're eating healthy, you're exercising. I think this product will help you. And then she went on to explain exactly what she told you about the Triplex. And so honestly, the Triplex for me is what I started. I added in the X Factor Plus my second month, and I started to see weight loss right away because mine was an insulin resistance is what was going on. I was not, my body was not working properly. And so, or able to, my metabolism was shot. I was exercising 25 to 35 miles running a week, plus 5 to 6 days of just cross training as well. And, between the stress and just not like using my sugars properly, I couldn't lose the weight. So anyway, that was the trick. And so here's the thing is Barbie just told me about it. I said, let's sign up right here, like right now. Barbie had no story to tell me, right, Barbie? Like she had nothing because she hadn't even gotten her products yet. But what she shared with me was what the person before her shared with her. And I was like, girl, you're speaking my language. Like, I totally need this. I just have a feeling like this is exactly what is going to work. So let's do it. Like, we have nothing to lose, right? 60-day money back guarantee. So off we go. So I opened my mouth because I was like, my first day drinking the pink drink, I felt energy. And I was like, okay, who doesn't want more energy? And then I didn't need my coffee. So it was like, okay, who would love to give up a coffee habit? Like that's $5 or more at Starbucks, right? Per day. And not to mention it's not great on your stomach. It actually, like destroys good bacteria. So anyway, so I noticed that. And then by the evening of my first day, I had like lost my hot flashes. Or I had noticed a big reduction in them. And so then I was like, I got to tell people about this. And so I was encouraged to just try to find 3 people to join me. And those 3 people would help me get my products paid for. I was going to get a $100 bonus. And then you get commission on the welcome packs that people sign up with. So I was like, I'm going to talk to my sister, my mom, my mother-in-law, like people closest to me, my best friend. And by the end of the week, I had 3 people signed up. It was that easy, you guys. It was just like simply just talking to people and getting the people closest to you in your circle, right? Because those people, most likely the ones you have the most influence over are the ones that are going to just jump right in. And so that's what I did. And then what happened was I started really paying attention to other people posting, and I thought, oh my gosh, look at this. This person's, has this going on in their life. This person's always up in the middle of the night with me on our phones on Facebook at 3 a.m. So we're not sleeping. So I knew there was people not getting sleep. So I just started reaching out to those people. And then I was encouraged to put a post on Facebook. So in my first week, I had a picture of me and my pink drink. I shared the things that I had already noticed, which really wasn't a lot, but it was something. And so I'm like, there's something going on with this stuff and it's working. So from that post, I started to get interest. And so then I started just talking to them about it and sharing what Barbie had shared with me. I mean, I was not a professional about it at all. And then we included our upline, which was Brooke, who's above Barbie. And so Brooke got in conversations with us and our people who were interested. And then we were able to help recommend products. But I didn't know all the different products at first, but Brooke did. And so by including Brooke, Barbie and I in the conversations, we all learned together. And so that's what's super powerful about sharing is don't be afraid to just put it out there. Like you have nothing to lose. And what happened for Barbie and I was the sharing. So Barbie didn't really actively share for 3 months and she can share her story sometime, but what I was doing was I was sharing. Barbie was still, quietly sharing with people. But our team started to explode. And in 11 months, actually in the 10th month, Barbie and I both went Emerald. And so Emerald's the 6th, rank in the company. And I don't want to discourage anybody. That's fast. I just have to say that's super fast, but people will get there. You just have to stay consistent and you have to just keep sharing. Your team will just keep growing. So, but that's been huge for us because it's blessed both of our lives incredibly. And our teams are still growing. And so what did we do? Let me just see. I want to make this really simple for you guys for sharing. If you have somebody that just comes to mind, just reach out to them and say, hey, I'm doing this stuff. It's amazing. I have a friend, Egan, like Gina, Egan's story now. You can use my story. You can use Barbie's story. You can use anybody's story that you find on Facebook. And that's the next thing is like reach out to those people and say, hey, I have something that I found I think might help you with what's going on. Would you be interested in hearing more? And then if they say, yeah, sure, we can go into our back offices. So if you guys aren't familiar with the back office, which means like your account that you set up where you sign in with your email, your password, go into the back office. You're going to look under, I'm trying to think about what it is exactly. It's not Sharing Plexus. But anyway, it is, what is it?
Sharing Plexus. And
oh,
then
yeah. Yeah, but it's Resource Library. What's the other one? It's like My Business or something?
Training Center, I think.
Oh, gosh. Thank you. Training Center, Resource Library. And then you can go down in there and you can find little videos that you just copy, paste, and send it. And there's a one on Triplex. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds. And so everybody has 1 minute and 30 seconds to watch a video. And I just watched it again. And it's, my husband's trying to call me. That's funny. You can tell him I'm busy. That's funny. So anyway, they can watch that video. I just watched it. It's great. It's awesome. It talks about gut health. It gives them a quick overview. It's not super long. And then it just creates interest. And then you can say, hey, did you have a chance to watch that video? And what about it interests you? And then you move on from that. So all you've done is you've just said, hey, I have something that might help. Would you be interested in learning more? Can I send you a video? They say yes, you send them a video. And then you can also go under our Plexus Transformations. If you haven't been added to our Plexus Transformations group, ask your sponsor to add you there. Because all you have to do is up in the little search bar, just type in whatever it is, migraines, menstrual issues, female hormones, weight loss, whatever. You type it in there, autoimmune, whatever. Copy and paste that testimony and send it to your friend. So that will be something that would speak to them. We also have a Wellness from Within group for people who are just curious. And then we can help you find that group, plug you into it, and get your potentials in there. So if they're not really ready to jump in and purchase product right away, the Wellness from Within group is awesome. But what's even more awesome is just making an appointment with your sponsor. So whoever your upline is, just say, hey, can I get you on the phone with Phyllis? Can I get you on the phone with Egan? Can I get you on the phone with Barbie? and so that they can help explain the products and maybe even recommend some products for you, because I'm so new at this, right? Because that's what we're here to help you with. And then once we get them on the phone, then we make product recommendation, and then we can send them information about each of those products if they're willing to, if they want that information. Some people want a lot of information, some people don't. And so you have to know that. We don't want to be just like barfing Plexus in their face. We want to just give them what they want. And so every person is different with the information that they require. If you send some people too much, they're just going to shut down and be like, this is too complicated, I don't want to have anything to do with it. And then you have those that have that watched me forever. I have somebody at work, she watched me for a year and then she jumped in, but she says, I'm a researcher and I'm going to check it all out before I do something. So for her, she is the girl that I send a ton of information to. So anyway, just know your people. And then obviously, lastly, they're going to say, okay, how much is this all going to cost me? You can then give them the prices. And I never, ever hesitate to say, here's exactly what you need. Because if I have somebody who has a lot of autoimmune problems, they're going to need a loading dose of ease. They're going to start a little differently than the next person. And so I'm going to recommend it differently to them. Some people I've had purchase it all. They want it all and they want to start it all at one time, and so I never judge somebody. I just let them tell me what they can or can't afford. And I never hold back with product recommendation. I can say, hey, I'm going to recommend some products here. You let me know what will work for you and we can adjust it from there. And then if they say this just is not the right time for me, then I still don't just let them off the hook, because I know how good this stuff is. I'm like, I have a $20, thing where I can give you 7 sticks of Slim. And at least that 7 days of Slim, that can be life-changing for some people. It would have been life-changing for me if all I did was 7 sticks. Yes, baby.
We have less than a minute to go.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I'm pretty much done. So you can always just get them into our 7-day challenge or 3-day blitz with 3 sticks of Slim or 7 sticks of Slim. So
just to tap on that, like Phyllis said, I was totally fearful of sharing on social media. So I reached out via my close circle of friends. So I was signing people up, but I wasn't doing it via social media. And so I just want to tell you guys, I get it. I understand. And it took me 3 months to get over my fear. I did get over my fear. I did get persecuted. I was afraid I was going to get from people in my area. But you know what? I'm still going strong, and they're all wishing they joined me now. So just to reiterate that, it's okay. Go at your pace. Just go. Just do it. However you got to do it, just do it. Okay? Because that's really what it is. It's about stepping out. Are you going to be uncomfortable in your current situation, or are you going to be uncomfortable by building yourself up? And that's really what we want you guys to do, is just reach out, be uncomfortable. It's okay. We're here for you. Okay? We definitely are. And please let us know any questions you have. Use the Business Builders thread that Phyllis has. Make sure you're in transformations. Send us text messages. Send us whatever you need to do to get what you want. And like she said, we don't want to overwhelm you with information. I love rationale and information. But I learned off that a lot of people don't, and then I overwhelm them because I can keep talking. So just like Phyllis said,